Hi, ma'am. Good evening.
Good morning. How are you?
Yes, I'm well. What about you, ma'am? How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. It's kind of cold here.
Oh, it's cold there.
Yes. It's
Also,
it's 1 degree Celsius.
oh, 1 degree Celsius. It's too cool.
It is too cold today. We're getting into our winter time.
Yes, yes. And I'm so happy, ma'am, because today I connected you.
Right? It's been a long time that we've been. It's hard for me. So I'm Rochelle from Dreaming English, and I work full time. So the YouTube is a part-time thing for me. So it's hard for me to coordinate, especially with people on the other side of the earth. So
Yeah, because I was trying to connect you for a long time, but today I connected you. So today I'm so happy because I am so happy. I cannot explain my happiness in my words.
oh, okay, all right. Well, so you want to tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely, ma'am. My name is Anil Kumar, and I'm from India. And I'm a student. I'm a student of BA English honors. This is my first year. Like I am doing my graduation. Yes, and in my life I want to become English professor. And in my leisure time, I like to make video, and I like to upload video on my YouTube channel. Yes, I like to do this type of work.
I see that. And so I'll tell you a little bit myself. So my full-time job is kind of like a high school guidance counselor. I help students in their last year of high school, help them to do applications for college, both to apply to college and applications to help pay for college. And I have 2 children, one child that just started college. He's going to Northeastern to be a mechanical engineer, and I have a daughter who's 11, who really was the one that decided to make a YouTube channel, but now it's mostly me.
Yeah, I have seen your daughter in your video.
Yeah. Yeah, it was her idea, but now it's mostly me, and she's like, "Oh, Mom, do we have to make another video?" So now the videos are mostly me. And I also enjoy making these videos and talking to people all around the world.
Yes. I also enjoy. I also like.
Yeah.
Yes. So, ma'am, this is winter season in your country.
The situation here?
I'm saying that is this winter season in your
It
country?
is getting to be winter. We're still in fall where the leaves are changing color, and it's getting colder each day, but we haven't had snow yet. Winter is officially like December 21st, but we'll probably have snow before that.
Okay, yes. And in my country, winter season is coming, but we have not like cool. Like nowadays, just we are wearing one short, and this is enough.
That's enough, right? Yeah, so like it just started getting really cold and it went below freezing just this morning. But before that, it was like nice. You could go out with just like without a sweater. You could go outside without a sweater. But now it's getting really cold.
Yes.
So
Ma'am, tell me something.
So yeah, I mean, I guess if I can tell you a little bit about life here. Like I live in Massachusetts, which is on the east coast of the United States. And so I live about 1 hour from Boston. I think most people know Boston. Do you know Boston?
Boston, no.
No? Okay, so it's the capital of Massachusetts, and it's where the, when we were still a colony of England, is where the revolution started to kind of become free from England. So that started in Boston. So most people know Boston, but apparently not everyone because you have not heard of it. But it is a pretty famous city around the world. Maybe not as famous as New York City, but it is pretty famous. And so in Massachusetts where I live, we also have the most colleges or universities, as we call college, we call university, we also call it college. And we have the most in all of the United States, and especially in Boston. We have a ton of colleges and universities in Boston. Some very famous, you might have heard of Harvard and MIT.
MIT?
MIT, have you heard of MIT?
No.
No?
I have not heard.
Oh, okay. What about Harvard?
Harvard.
Harvard, yes. So we have Harvard, we have MIT, and we have some of the most famous universities in the world in Boston. And so that's a little bit about me and where I live. And like where I live, we have 4 seasons. So we have right now we're in the fall season where the leaves change color and then they fall off the trees. And then we have winter where it snows and it's really cold, and then spring where it gets warmer, and then summer when it's really warm and you can swim. So that's kind of like where I live. We have 4 seasons. So some places they might have 2 seasons, but we have 4.
Yeah, in my country, I think also we have 4 or 5 seasons.
Oh, 4 or 5, wow.
Yes. So like, is it like this is a starting winter season or like a middle season?
Oh, middle season, okay. So
yeah, so how long it will be winter season in your country?
each season is 3 months, and they're kind of by where the, when the earth is going around the sun, like depending on where it is, like there'll be like the equinox. Like I'm not a scientific person, but we'll have the summer equinox, which means that we are closest to the earth, or the northern hemisphere is closest to the sun, and that's when we are starting summer. And then, when we are winter equinox is like, that's December 21st. And here where I live, it's the shortest day, meaning that we have less light. So every day I have less sunlight. So now, like in the summertime, it was sunny, or you could have sunlight until like 9 o'clock p.m. But now the sun is gone down by like 6 o'clock p.m. And when it is December 21st, it's probably around 4 p.m. The sun is gone down and it's dark outside.
Oh, it's same like in my country.
Yeah. And
Yes.
so, go ahead.
Yes, nowadays the sun sets around 6 o'clock, 5:30. Yes. Nowadays it is about like 5:30. Yeah. But whenever like December is coming and like October, now October is going to be end, and November and December is going to be coming. Yeah. So that time the sun sets around 5 o'clock, before 5 o'clock, sometimes 4 o'clock.
Yeah. So I don't like, I do like winter sometimes to kind of have fun in the snow, but I don't like that it's so dark. Because I work during the day, so I like to go for a walk, and I can't really do that when it's dark out, right? So I don't like that part of it.
So ma'am, when do you wake up in the morning time? At what time?
I wake up because I wake up at like 5 a.m. because I work in a high school usually. I work there 3 days a week, and I need to be there for 7 a.m. So I get up at 5.
Okay. So you wake up at 5 o'clock?
5 a.m., yes, yeah. What about you?
Okay. Yes. And I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning time.
Wow. I thought I woke up early. That's really early.
Yeah. Because that time I wake up at 4 o'clock and I go to toilet, and after that I get fresh, and after that I start my study, because in the morning time we can remember anything easily and we can study.
That is true. I know that I definitely do better with like anything I have to do, whether it's studying, whether it's projects for work. I do way better when I'm doing it in the morning. At night, when I'm really tired, it's not so good. So that's definitely true.
Yeah.
But at 4 a.m., I'm a little too tired.
Yes. So ma'am, like, are you professor in your college or just like you are teacher?
So I'm not really... So I really am more like an advisor, but so the next semester I'm actually going to be teaching. I'm going to get certified in Google certification, and we're going to teach a class for Google certification for our students. So I will be teaching, but only one class. So usually I'm working one-on-one with the students on their college applications. So I guess it's kind of like teaching, but it's not like teaching a whole classroom, if that makes sense.
Okay, so ma'am, how many subjects do you teach?
So really, I really just teach the whole college and career thing. And then I'll be teaching the Google certification. So is that a subject? It's more like, I guess Google certification is really the IT side of Google, because Google needs more employees and they don't seem to have enough people that are having the skills they need. So they're actually partnering with our school to be able to offer this course to the students for free. So that's exciting. So I guess I'll be teaching kind of an IT thing, even though I'm not a super like technological person, but I'm gonna get there because I'm gonna learn it.
Okay, but really you are doing great work in your life.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes. And ma'am, what about English? Like, do you teach English in your high school?
So I don't teach English. I kind of teach English to people people online through making the videos, and I teach it like in a natural way by telling stories. And I sometimes will work with people that want to learn English because I want to learn Spanish. So I'll kind of like trade off and get a language partner, and I'll teach them English, and then they'll teach me Spanish. I'm not really a certified English teacher, except that I will say that I am a native English speaker, so I think that gives me some certification to teach English. But I don't teach it in the way of like learning grammar and auxiliary verbs and all that kind of thing. It's more like through conversation and through kind of speaking clearly and like using my hands, like, you know, trying to use that so that way you understand what I'm saying. So that's how I make the videos. And how if I'm teaching somebody like English, I will kind of use my hands. Maybe I'll draw pictures and stuff so they understand.
Yes, yes. So ma'am, how long have you been learning a Spanish language?
Many, many years, since high school really, but I think really seriously learning for 5 years. And I'm getting to the point that I can understand, I can watch videos, and I can have a conversation, but if there's a group of people, then I have a hard time. So it's been a long journey to learn Spanish for me.
Okay, so ma'am, how many languages do you speak?
Just right now is the Spanish and the English, and I have started a little bit of Italian on Duolingo, but it's really just like knowing how to say like, okay, do you want to eat an apple? Or the boy is, you know, reading a book. I mean, that's really not really being fluent in a language at all, but it's just kind of getting like the bare minimum of starting the language.
So how long have you been learning Italian language?
I've been learning it, probably looking at it and trying to learn it on Duolingo for like 6 months, and I really couldn't tell you many words except ragazzi is a boy, okay? Mangia is an apple, but if I read it, if I see it in Duolingo, I can understand it. But if you ask me how to say something, I'm gonna have a hard time.
So ma'am, if you want to say that is a boy, so in Italian language, how can you say?
I don't remember. I just know like ragazzi is a boy, but I don't know how there is a boy, because I can tell you like in Spanish, ahí es un niño. Is in Spanish, that's for sure. I can do that very easily. But in Italian, again, I've only just started a little bit with Duolingo.
Okay, so like what will you say in Italian, in a Spanish language? That is a boy.
That is a boy. Oh, that would be está es un niño.
Está es un niño. It is so difficult for me.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because like so Spanish is, you know, well, Spanish is somewhat related to English, but it's not at all related to probably any of your native languages at all. But for English is kind of like a mixture of German and Latin. So there are a lot of words that are coming into English from Latin, but
yes, you are right. Yes.
Right, but that particular sentence, there would be nothing really that would be similar to English.
Yeah. English is mix of many languages.
Yes. So for me, it's been difficult too. But I think some of it has been more easier because of the relationship of the languages.
Yes. You know, ma'am, because I am a student of BA English honors, so nowadays I am also studying only English. So I have to study English literature, English language, yeah, so many things about only English, history of English language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I'm mostly the same, kind of focusing just on the Spanish mostly because that's what I want to be fluent in. It's what I can use for my job. Like the Italian is just for like fun, but I'm really not going to use Italian in work. There aren't many people around here at all that speak Italian, but there's lots of people that live in or people that go to my school that speak Spanish. So Spanish can be very useful. So but I always wanted to get to the point that I could say I'm a polyglot and I know more than like, so I can say I know 3 languages. So that's kind of like my whole thing of trying to learn the Italian is just so I can kind of like know 3 languages and also like, well, my grandmother was from Italy. So it would be kind of interesting to speak Italian, but I think my big focus is just the Spanish right now.
Yes. So, ma'am, do you speak Hindi?
No, I do not. Not one word.
You don't speak Hindi?
No.
Oh, Hindi is my native language.
Right. I thought so.
Yeah, my mother tongue. Hindi is my mother
See, if I spoke Hindi, I could say that I'm a polyglot, but I don't, because I could say I speak Hindi and Spanish and English, but no, I do not speak any Hindi.
Yeah, but you can learn Hindi easily.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
Yeah. Like ma'am, if you want to say to anyone, how are you? So in Hindi you can say आप कैसे हैं?
आप कैसे हैं?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I will try to remember that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Ma'am, yeah. Tell me something, ma'am.
All right. Well,
Like,
let me.
You can tell me how is my English.
Well, you have very good English. I can understand you. I can understand your pronunciation is good, and you're able to really like think about what you're going to say and not really stumble or try to like struggle for your words, as far as I'm understanding anyway. So I think it's very good.
Okay. And would you like to suggest to our viewers, to our beginners, those who are learning English, would you like to suggest them how can they learn English?
So like what I would suggest and what has worked for me to learn Spanish is to do something that I didn't come up with, but it's called Comprehensible Input method. And what does that mean? That means to really focus first on listening to not just like 10 hours or 100 hours, but like hundreds of hours of the language, watching if you can, like watching our YouTube channels, right? But watching news, watching programs, putting the subtitles, putting the captions on so you can read along, and really like developing your ear for the language. Because before you start speaking, listen, because otherwise, if you start speaking too early, you might end up pronouncing things wrong. But if you listen a lot, many hundreds of hours, then it'll become more natural. And think about it, that's how you learned your mother tongue of Hindi. You learned it from listening to your family members talking all around you. That's how you learned it. So that would be my number one suggestion. And now with the internet, it's very easy to do that. You can listen to podcasts, you can listen to audiobooks, you can listen to YouTube videos. So it's very easy to do that. When I was back in college and high school, we didn't have the internet. So I'm just dating myself there, right? We didn't have the internet. It was just coming out into the world when I was in college. So if I wanted to listen to...
We have internet. You can use it.
We have it now, but when I was in college studying Spanish, I would have to go to the library and I would have to get CDs or tapes, right? And I would have to like listen to them in my home or my car maybe. If I had a CD player in my car, if I was that lucky, that's the only way that I could listen to Spanish. But I couldn't listen to it on the radio. I couldn't listen to it on the internet. So now you have that ability to, so just do that as much as possible.
Yes. And another tips?
I mean, that would be like my biggest tip. My next one would be to try to find some language partners. And one way to find them is like a wonderful app called Hello Talk. Where you can find language partners from all over the world and, exchange.
Ma'am?
It's called Hello Talk.
Hello Talk.
Yeah, and so you can find language partners from all over the world, and then start exchanging voice text with them, and then eventually like set up times to talk with them, like we're doing right now.
Yeah, there are many applications. We can practice, we can talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it depends upon those who are learning English. If they are dedicated to learn English, then they can learn English, because nowadays we have many ways to learn English.
Yeah, and it's hard to find dedicated people. Like, I think you start just having some conversations and build it up. You know, from the Hello Talk, I've been using it for 3 years, and I found a few people that are dedicated, but it takes a long time. There's a lot of people that say, yeah, they want to practice with you, and you have a conversation for like a day or two, and then they disappear. So it does take a long time to find those language partners.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So nice to talk with you. This is really great conversation with you. I'm so happy.
Yeah, thank you. It was nice talking to you too.
Yeah. So bye, ma'am.
Okay, bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a lovely night.
All right, you too.